Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Today on Tallidus Plays, we are back in Kerbal Space Program, and today we're going to recoup a little bit of money. You might notice that my Kerbal Space Center has gotten a few upgrades, and that cost quite a bit out of the budget. And because of that, now we are desperately short on funds, and we need to recoup those. So what better way than going on a mission? A few missions, to be exact. I've actually picked up a few of these Duna missions here, so we're going to stack them all together and try to make a whole bunch of money while doing so. First, we have do a simple scan with a rover arm of a sand dune. This could be any sand dune on the planet Duna. We just need to scan it with the CRSY, Crazy Light Scanning Arm. We suspect you can find one of these in the Northeast Basin, Eastern Canyon, or Lowlands biomes. Lowlands is what I'm going to target because it's the largest biome, I believe. Also, we want to plant a flag on Duna. That's pretty obvious, but it pays a lot of money. Exploring Duna, this is going to be a little bit more tricky because we need to launch two different craft at the same time and send them both out to Duna. So there's going to be sort of two sister craft going out on the same exact mission to rendezvous in orbit of Duna. So we're going to go on an orbital spacewalk, rendezvous two vessels in the orbit of Duna, and then return to Kerbin from the orbit of Duna. I believe we only need to return with one vessel, but I'll probably return both just to be safe. And of course, finally, the big one here. We have 5 tourists. And they all have different itineraries, but every one involves something to do with orbiting or landing on Duna. So this is going to be tricky. We're going to basically set this up to where the land on Duna's one, I think we only have one that requires to be landed on Duna. So this is going to be fly by Duna. That's easy enough, but the land on Duna is the really big one there, Gigard. So Gigard is going to be on our Duna landing craft as a tourist. All the others will just be in the companion ship that will rendezvous in orbit of Duna. And then what I'm probably going to do is put a scientist and a pilot and then Gigard on one craft. And then the other craft will be a pilot with the other 4 tourists in tow. But also, very importantly, one of these is land on the moon, or the Mun. You see here, land on the Mun. Girton. Also, Alvi. So I'll need to basically make a craft that can get to and from Duna, orbit, and come land on the moon, and get back home. And then a second craft that can go to Duna, potentially drop off a rover with a scanner arm, and land on Duna and take back off from Duna and come back home as well. So one's going to Duna to land, come up, and come back home. The other is going to Duna to orbit and just rendezvous, come back, land on the moon, and then finish by going back to Kerbin. So a lot of moving parts for this mission. What we're going to do is basically create the same craft and duplicate it. That's kind of my plan. So one craft can do the mission. We'll duplicate it. Again, to fulfill the parameters of a rendezvous mission, it has to be from 2 separate crafts. So I can't simply launch a craft, split it, and then re-rendezvous. That does not count. These have to be 2 separate vessels launched separately. So this is going to be a little bit more of an involved process. Again, this is more of a build-up than I usually do to the pre-building scenarios. I think we're already about 7 minutes into the video. We might cut this down a bit. But let's go ahead and start designing our crafts for our double Duna mission, as I'm going to call it from here on forward.
All this time, I've been holding on so tight, 'cause all that I do was easy to use. So call my time, but you weren't really mine, just something to do. Thought I never knew. No surprise, but nevertheless, I'm still stuck in self-defense. No surprise, but nevertheless, I get lost when I look in your eyes. I just
All right, we have the right pilot. We have the right Kerbals, the right tourists for the right part of the mission. Let's get the sucker launched. And that looks pretty good. That's about as circularized as I would ever hope to get. Now what we want to do is put out some solar panels, or at least the retractable ones, so we don't lose power while we're waiting for Double Duna 2 to get up here. So we're going to put out these 4 bad boys. Looking good. All right. Hey, look, there's the KSS coming up behind us. All right, so we're looking good here. We have almost a fuel tank, and we still have a total of almost 6,000 fuel. So hopefully this works in our favor. Now, one more quick save. Back to the KSC, the Kerbal Space Center, because this is where we grab Double Duna 2. All right, hopefully this doesn't fall apart on me. Throttle up, and let's get ready to go. Again, for Double Duna 2, we're going to go a little bit more gradual on our gravity turn, because we don't want to be burning in the lower atmosphere quite as long as we did for Double Duna 1. Yeah, nice and circularized. All right. Check the fuel. 53 hundo. Not the best amount of fuel remaining, but I think we can make it work. So we're quick saving. And we're pot committed, folks. This mission is officially a go. So, let's go to the map and see if we're even remotely close to a transfer window. But yes, after a year and 90 days in low Kerbin orbit, we finally have a effective transfer window to get to Duna. Let's see how upset the Kerbins are at me for making them wait this long. Oh yes, they all look just ecstatic. Okay, they were literally static. Now they look a little bored. Guess I should have given them a book or something to read. Now, transferring between planets. I haven't done this in a minute. Again, we've done it on the series a few times, but it's been a minute. So I do know one thing. To go further out in the solar system, you want to burn on the dark side of the planet, because you're kind of launching yourself further outward. I don't know if we have 3 minutes to plan this maneuver, but we'll try. Again, this is, I think we're currently in Double Duna 1. This is just the one that's going to land on Duna. So we forward that out, we click Duna, we set it as a target. And again, we kind of mess around here and see if we can get a good close encounter. Ooh, and look at that. A beautiful little encounter there, actually. That is surprisingly on the money. So let's right-click that periapsis and get it as low as possible. Get it nice and close. And then once we get the periapsis as close as it'll let us, that looks about 14 million. Closer than it seems. We click Duna, focus view, and now we can see exactly how to get it closer. Again, I like to come in on the... I guess the orbital plane. So I like to come in sort of behind the planet. Otherwise, it gets a little tricky to plan your final approach, so to speak. Now, we will need what they call a mid-course correction, because once we leave Kerbin's sphere of influence, it is not uncommon. It's almost a reliable fact that your course will get kind of shifted a bit. So that's just nature of the beast. But we can get it kind of aligned with what we want. So, again, if we were really feeling fancy, we could try to use Ike over here to kind of slow us down, but I'm not really feeling that capable. And what we want to do is get both of these craft in a decently accessible equatorial orbit for their rendezvous. So, what we could do, though, is use the atmosphere to aerobrake, which is what I do intend to do. So we're going to get it like there. That's close enough. And honestly, the burn time is very brief, 54 seconds with our rocket. So this is kind of cool. It's going to be pretty easy. Let's light this thing up, because I think we're going to have to do this on the dark side of the planet. So I'll at least turn the lights on so you can see what's going on there. And we're going to wait till we get to a quick save, as always, especially before these interplanetary burns. Yeah, we're going to see what we can do. Again, we have plenty of engine, and we're going to have to ditch this whole side before we even land. So I'm not really worried about being too much more efficient. We have all of this fuel to use, and it must, in fact, it must be used before we land on Duna, the red planet. So I'm fast forwarding until we get to 27. Letting Jeb line things up, and we're going to light this candle. There we go. Well on our way. We're going to basically do the same thing here. Keep the maneuver targeted, and then once we get close to about 5 seconds done on our burn, we'll go to stability assist. We'll keep an eye on our map to see how close we get to our actual intended target. Knowing full well we'll have to do a mid-course correction once we leave Kerbin's sphere of influence. Again, that's just the nature of the beast for any interplanetary mission. It's also a little bit more effective to change normal, anti-normal halfway along your course rather than at your origin. But that's, again, a little bit more advanced than I'm willing to explain because I don't really understand it all myself. There's two different effects. There's the Oberth effect, and then there's also a mid-course correction. So, little difference there. 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to cut the engines here. And we'll throttle up just a little bit. Again, we want to get this very close. 2, 1. Killing it. Okay, so you see here, we're not even on the plane for the planet. This is crazy. So I'm going to move a little bit closer. And we're just going to puff the engines here just a little bit. Just to see if we can't get this number down as low as possible. This is the remaining delta V for the maneuver, and there it is, X. So you'll see, we're not even interacting yet with the planet. But we are very close to interacting with the planet, so I'm going to call that a successful burn. If we just tap shift a little, there we go, we got something. So again, I exited out of the maneuver, and I've just got my craft pointed wherever it's pointed. And we're going to see if we can't just kind of eyeball this. Again, this is... Oh, I went too far. That's fine. We'll correct it mid-course. So that's one craft done. Again, we're going to have plenty of time to do the mid-course correction. Let me make sure I didn't break off the solar panels. Nope, those are fine. So let's go ahead and go back to the map, and we will have to switch over to Double Duna 2. So tracking station. Course. You notice the other one was kind of coming over here. This one's going over there. That's okay. We'll correct it mid-course. Now, for both of these, we're going to want to set up an aero capture. So the way to do that is basically, let's do an escape. So we want to approach it on this side. So we need to get this over, like so. And we want it to literally get deep into Duna's atmosphere. Duna, again, has a smaller or shorter atmospheric height, and it's much thinner, so you can really plow into it and decelerate your craft. It'll help a lot with aero braking around the planet. I think 26,000 looks pretty good, actually. Again, if I'm not mistaken, I think Duna's atmosphere starts at 60,000. Yeah, it's 60,000 meters or 60 kilometers is the start of its atmosphere. And it's thinner all the way through. The whole thing is thinner. So 26 seems crazy, like we're grazing the planet's surface, but that's plenty. So we're going to have Jeb target that, and you'll see this is the tiniest burn. Actually, it's so small we need to decrease our engine's power to do it. So we're going to limit the thrust here. This is a nice little hack for doing some of these more particular... Look at that, thrust is 1%. It's still a 9-second burn just at 1%. Which is kind of crazy. Once we get on our mark, we will save, quick save again, and we'll fast forward to our maneuver. Then we will execute said maneuver. Again, I think we should have completed another orbit around the sun. Uh-oh. Why does this not count as orbiting around the sun? Again, we're going to let Duna do most of the aero braking, and we will hit the engines as soon as we get into the meaty part of the atmosphere. And now we can quick save and head over to our Double Duna 1. Switch to. And here we might honestly be interacting already. Let's see. We're not quite there, but we're close. 1 day out from our Duna encounter, so let's go ahead and warp there. We should be coming up on it any minute now. I think, yep, there it is, right over there in the distance. Where did they go? Can we see them? Are they above us? There they are. Did we already warp to this point? Wow, that was fast. Okay. Let's warp here. Here they come. And there they go. Boom. Alright, this looks like it. Contract parameter. Synchronized free falling isn't nearly as daunting as it sounds. Rendezvous maneuver around Duna. And yes, that is also another contract parameter complete. And we needed to go on an orbital spacewalk near Duna. So let's have we can double click on this one actually. I think we could use the right bracket to actually switch over. Yeah, there it is. And let's have Bob do the honors. He can go on a little EVA. That's kind of fun. You can see this one whipping by at a slightly terrifying speed, but that's about as close as it's gonna get. So that's okay with me. Okay, and Bob can go ahead and just get back in the cockpit here. That's a spacewalk. So again, we need that sand dune data, and we just need to land, and we're getting close, folks. This is knocking out parameters. Can we get a cool little EVA report? High over Duna, nothing to keep there. Okay, we'll just leave that. Board, and we will quick save. Looking good, looking good. Let's go back and set up our landing approach. So again, at this point, Double Duna 1 is safely in an orbit. That will be fine. We need to, I would like to land on the sunny side. So we'll go here, and we'll add a maneuver to drop down. Again, we just want to get to aero braking and let the atmosphere do the landing for us. So if we hit like 12,000, as we saw earlier, that's more than enough to land us. Pretty much naturally. We don't even need that much. I think if we go to like 20,000, that should be enough. So let's set that up. We're going to warp to the position, target retrograde, and we'll be all good to go. And there goes Double Duna 1 over on that side. At this point, yeah, we will just kick it. Quick save, as always. And yeah, these guys are ready to land on Duna. At least specifically Gigard. He is excited. She is excited, I think. Time warp to our maneuver. And we'll burn the sucker at 7. Looking good. Stability assist. Right on the node. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20. Oh, that's good. Yeah, we didn't need to go quite that much. I'm glad I checked the map. So that should be plenty. That'll put us down. Hopefully somewhere near... I mean, I think that actually might be that eastern crater that we talked about. So the big concern here is how are these going to work? We need to deploy drogues, deploy mains, and then we use the engine to get us all the way down. So we will keep pointing prograde. Quick save. This is the 3rd attempt at this landing. I might have cut the other 2 because they weren't exactly that explosive or spectacular. It was just more disappointing. I got all the way to the ground. You know, I hit almost zero. I just landed at a bit of an angle, and thus was not able to complete said landing. I'm going to go radial out here just to slow down as much as possible. I don't really care where I land. I just want it to be flat. That's really what we're going for. Flat landing site. If I tip over one more time, I'm going to lose it. So, solar panels retracted. Let's try this again for the third time. This actually looks like our best landing spot yet, although it's still got a bit of an angle here. So we'll see how this works. Again, I want this thing to be slowing down, but not stopped. Yeah, see, this is the problem here. I need to get it to slow down, but not stop, and not flip, and cut the engines. Not flip, not flip, not flip, not flip. Ah, it's gonna flip. Okay, okay. So we're gonna go up a little bit. That's okay. We could do a little hop jump here. Burn the other way. Stop. Stop. Okay, we're skipping. We're skipping. We're skipping, folks. That's okay. As long as our chutes stay deployed, we have a chance of saving this thing. Again, we have to keep it stabilized. 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 Okay, we're bouncing. Oh, we're bouncing again. Okay, that's too much. We got to go back up again. Keep the chutes open. Keep the chutes open. Okay, and then we're going to let it come back down. Again, what we can do is actually target over here. Like so. We'll basically do a hover slam over to the slightly flatter zones in this area. I don't care if we use like 100 extra meters per second. I just want to get this thing landed at this point. So we could do that. Again, we are continuing our hover slam mentality. Yeah, we're going to go over here. And yes, the chutes are kind of wrangling us in, but that's actually okay with me. We want to go this way. Yeah. Okay, and then we can now use the natural. Come on. Slow down. Battle up. Slow down. Slow down. This is going to bounce us. Yeah, it's going to bounce us bad. Okay, we're getting close. I think this might be a landing site, kind of. Again, we're going to kill our horizontal velocity, kill our vertical velocity. Okay, we're about there. Come on, give us something to work with here, folks. Come on. No, that's too much. Okay, we got to go back up again. Oh, we're all over the place. Okay, we're going around. We are really going crazy here. Oh, my God. Okay, that is good enough. Okay, again, we can't really go that fast because we still have all these parachutes open, so there's that. But we can try to control ourselves a little bit more professionally here. Again, keep an eye on that main fuel. I don't want to use all of it. I know I said I don't mind wasting a little bit, but let's see. Can we get this thing to get set down properly? At a nice, let's say, 1 meter per second. I'll accept that. And that's a touchdown. We have a touchdown, folks. Don't move, don't move, don't move. Yep. And even an autosave occurred just now. We're gonna quick save that. I don't know if we have enough fuel to get home, but damn it, we have landed on Duna. Successfully. What do we do next? Well, I'm glad you asked. Nobody. We need to see if this rover works, and we need to see where we can take it. Is this... Where is one of these dunes? I need to see what the dunes look like. Is it this? Could this be it? Is there a way to click on it? So, what we need to do is get Valentina to get transferred up. So let's take off SAS and hope that this thing doesn't just tilt on its own. It is tilting. But I think it's going to stay. Yeah, that is going to stay. So she's going to, we're going to right click and transfer her. Crew transfer. And we will transfer Valentina up into the probe pod. And now what this needs to do is basically deconnect. We will undock. Tell me this is fuel, please. Okay, good. So we will undock. And now we need to use the bracket key to switch. We can throttle up just a little bit to like a third and then activate. Oh, God. Okay, well, we're dropping. And, oh, we lost the wheel. Well, that's why we save, folks. You know what we could do, though? Could we activate these engines still? What did I do wrong with these freaking engines? They're not activated. Activate engine. Oh, okay. Okay, well, what if we just activated, like, 2 of them on opposite sides? Right? And then that way we can do this. And then we can fly the sucker around like a little Jetsons car. It should have the thrust-to-weight ratio. Ironically, it literally has enough to hold itself aloft. Let's kill that. Alright, so we need to activate all of them. Okay, so we'll just go around and activate them all. That's fine. I don't know. Again, we might want to come back. I'm not going to save for a while because this might not be what we want to do. Okay, they're all activated. Can we use this thing? No target in range. Okay. This is such a weird thing. I'm glad I designed it, though. It's probably the most fun part of the mission thus far. Everything else has been kind of a nightmare. This has been kind of fun. Let's do our brake groups so that the wheels stop. We will scan the sand dune. Yes. Overwrite existing data. Can I take the data? Hold on, let's do this. I'd rather just take the data and then redo it. Take data. And then I should be able to just rescan here. Scan sand dune. Yeah. This should be a repeatable thing. This is probably going to hit the object, so I need to go back up. Let's see. Hey, there it is. Beautiful. Analyze, analyze. Yes. Keep the experiment. Amazing. Now let's make sure we grab that before we fly back, because there's a good chance this arm's going to explode while I'm flying. So let's take the data, and we'll board with the data. So we have that data on board. Let's head back. Whoa, whoa, we are all over the place. Okay. Oh, what did I just say? What did I just say? Okay, hold on. Let's turn the brakes off. We need to slow this thing down in a safe way. Can we not do it like this? Yes, there we go. There we go. Use the wheels to kind of kick it in the right direction. There we are. Perfect. Totally. Oh, God. This is... Okay. Okay, hold on. We're going this way. There we go. And then, yeah, we need enough to slow ourselves back down. But this is going to get us most of the way there. Thankfully, Valentina grabbed that data before we destroyed the arm that gathers said data. Now we're just going to simply slow down our horizontal speed here while maintaining the hover. Could we actually... Oh, we can't grab that because, yeah, we got destroyed. That's right. Okay, well, ooh, let's hover, hover, hover. There we go. Then we'll naturally kind of fall down the slope a little bit. We're still moving pretty fast along the surface, about 12 meters a second. So again, we're just going to stay pointed outward here. And let physics do the rest. So Valentina's doing her job. Turns out Bob wasn't exactly necessary, but that's okay. He was still here for moral support. I'm glad we have a pilot piloting this thing, though. If we had Bob in here, this would be an absolute nightmare. I think this is a good enough spot to stop. Yeah, this is good. There we go. Come to a nice little resting point. There we go. Beautiful. Brakes on. Lights off. And Valentina can go ahead and hop on out. But, again, we need to make sure that we grab that data. God forbid, if we leave it behind... Bob will never let me hear the end of it. Also, we do need to place our flag, because that is part of this mission. And I don't think that good old Valentina has had the chance to place a flag on Duna yet, so... Time to make your mark, Valentina. You've earned it. God knows you've earned it. Actually, where are we on that note? Let's do an EVA report. Oh, this is the Midlands. Okay, so we'll keep that experiment. We should also be able to take a surface sample of the Midlands. Beautiful. Extra science, never a bad thing. And then this flag, we should be able to edit. Let's actually take the flag down. We'll replace it here because I need to... Yeah, I need to actually type it. So these are still the Midlands. And then we'll have Valentina actually put her name on it here. Midlands. Val was here. Val's our gal. Okay, everything else looks good. We can bring her back to the main craft here. Again, Mark 1 droid thingy, you were hilarious and kind of not that effective. But you did get the job done. So I'll give you credit for that. We broke a wheel off as soon as we detached. But again, improvise, adapt, overcome, survivor / Kerbin. We want to turn her rocket pack on here. Another contract is complete. Successfully planted a flag at Duna. See right there, that just this one contract basically paid for a whole mission. It was 300,000. Each of these double Duna vessels was approximately 150,000 a pop. So at this point, we really just need to get Sigden to orbit the moon, and we need to land on the moon with the other vessel, and then we are basically done. So here's the question: do we rendezvous and move Sigden over before? Let's see. Can we do an assisted boost jump? Ooh, we can actually. Yeah. So again, you can't really just float all the way up, but what you can do is do like a little boost jump where you make sure you have your rocket ready. Okay, you do a jump and immediately start boosting. You get like an extra kick off the ground, and you can skip all those ladders. Look at that, skipping all those ladders. So again, we didn't need them, but it's good to have. You never know. That is our target, double Duna 1. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to fly up to this, get into an orbit, and then transfer Sigden over so that this sucker can just go straight home with whatever fuel it's got left, and double Duna 1 can continue its mission to land on the Mun, because it's got a lot more fuel and a lot more capability. So keeping that in mind, let's set this as our target. Yeah, I think this is going to be a good idea. So again, SAS on, quick save, obviously. We're back. We're going to try this one more time. Again, we're going to go a little bit more gradual on our little gravity turn here. And hope that that puts us on a much better trajectory. Again, who would have thought these things would be rendezvousing twice in orbit? This was never the mission design. But look at this. His fuel is almost entirely full right now. And this one is almost entirely empty. So I think y'all know where I'm going with this. Again, you can see these are starting to get a little bit off center. We want that yellow to be right over that pink because that is our prograde. That is our target. So again, just a little tiny burn. There we go. That should be enough. And he is automatically targeting again. Again, just a bit more time warp. Patience is a virtue when it comes to docking. If you're not patient, you might just have it bounce all over the place, and then you're going to have a bad time. And what very importantly this allows us to do is actually, you know, transfer our tourists between the two vessels. So here we go, folks. In orbit of Duna. Double Dunas docking together. Let's line up. Let's line up the, yeah, this will look extra cool if we line up their, solar panels there. and the glory of spacecraft docking in orbit. A cosmic ballet, if you will. Here it goes, folks. We are coming in close, and that is a... Oh, the magnets are kicking in. Come on, get there, get there. Boom, docked. Double Duna is now doubled up like a love bug in the middle of love bug season. So what we can do, most importantly, is transfer the crew here. We're going to grab... well, let's see. I think in this craft, all we have is... We have Alvi and Gerton, and then Jeb is all alone with... Oh, no, he's with Sheldus. Okay. So... Ooh, we have 5 tourists. Don't we? Huh. Let's see here. We have 5 tourists, so we need to switch them out. We need Sheldus and Gigard to go back to the planet Kerbin, while all of the rest go to the Mun. Either way, I think we have a general idea. We want to be 75 degrees ahead of Kerbin. $75. That looks good right about there. So let's go back and set our return course. What we want is double Duna 2. This has less fuel, right? We only put about 1,700 meters per second of delta V in this bad boy. Now, we've been fast forwarding for a while, so these actually should be... they're still not too far apart, to be honest. But again, if you want to go further in to the solar system and target a planet like Kerbin, you need to burn on the day side of a planet. So we're going to set up a maneuver right about there. Then we're going to zoom out and target Kerbin. Again, you can see here, prograde is basically making me fire backwards along the orbit of Duna, effectively slowing us down so that we fall back towards Kerbin. So we'll set that as a target. And let's see, hopefully we have enough delta V to make this maneuver happen. 40 meters up. And we are almost landing. Double Duna 2 has successfully completed all mission parameters. Beautiful. Recover vessel. And look at that. We got the surface sample from Duna Midlands. We got the EVA report, Duna meteorite scan, the Duna dune scan, and the recovery of a vessel from the surface of Duna. So we earned another 659 science. Got a little bit of money from the parts. We got some crew experience. Big one there is Valentina. Advanced to level 3. Go Valentina. And let's see, we got more milestones. So we have returned from the surface of Duna. We returned from flyby and orbit of Duna. We've explored Duna. We also ferried. Gigard's travel itinerary is officially complete now. We also got that rover arm sand dune on Duna complete. So that worked fantastically. So now we just need to finish up the MUN, folks, on Double Duna Flight 1. Yeah, look at that. We are just about, what, like a day away? 18 minutes away from the Kerbin encounter. Wow. That actually is surprisingly good timing. 18 minutes out from the Kerbin encounter. So definitely popped a quick save there. And now we get to play a little game I call How the Hell Are We Going to Get to the MUN? Pretty nice. Yeah, it's over 18. We're not hitting any mountains. We're fine. So the question here is 673 enough to actually land this sucker and get back up? I think it might be enough to land. According to my subway map, it is barely enough to land, and we will definitely not get back up in orbit. So here's the question. Do we leave this in orbit, we come by with a refuel ship, refuel it, and continue the mission? Or do we make a whole extra issue with rescuing these guys from the surface? I think we do the first option, the former. So quick save, and we're going to go back to the KSC and make a Double Duna 3 refueling ship to come over here, attach to Double Duna 1, give it some more fuel, and then it should be able to finish its entire mission post-haste. And boom, there we go. This is a refueled Duna, Double Duna 1. Also, that counts as a docking maneuver and a station, quote-unquote, around the MUN. So that's extra money and science and prestige worldwide. Let's go ahead and undock, and we can proceed with our normal mission, our regularly scheduled mission. So Valentina's just chilling now. Move back over to these fellas. And let's go ahead and hit SAS, and we'll point the sucker retrograde. Just a little kiss of the engine to offset it from the other ship. A nice, gentle, successful touchdown on the Mun. And we got lucky with our landing zone. Actually, this is flat. First time so far this mission we've landed in one fell swoop. So, double Duna 1. Quite successful. Again, goes to show Jebediah's got the experience. We've landed on the Mun. And we're just about done. All we need now is to get these tourists back to Kerbin. And this is a completed tourism mission. All right, and we're coming for a touchdown of Duna, the double Duna 1 mission. Splashdown. All of our tourists are shocked that they have actually landed back in the home waters. They're all doing little dances. Even Jebediah is joining them with a little dance. Let's go ahead and recover the vessel. And when you know it, we've got an EVA report from the Midlands, surface sample from the Midlands. We recovered a vessel from flight over Duna, technically. It says flight over Duna because we did do an aero capture, so we got a little bit lower than you might have expected. But that's still 212 science. Parts don't really matter that much. But look at this crew. Again, it's a shame these tourists can't become honorary astronauts because they all gained a hell of a lot of experience. Jebediah, no XP gain. It's just another day in the park for him. But most importantly, we've completed all of our contract parameters. Travel itinerary, 219,000 credits. Boom. Gerton's travel, 175. Sheldon's travel, 219. Sigden's travel, 219. Again, the tour was a success. All of them had nothing but great things to say about the trip and brought back plenty of photos. 24 stars of reputation gain. And as you would see, that's complete success of the double Duna mission. This has been one of the most insane challenges that I've kind of created for myself, largely due to my ineffective design of the craft and having to overcome all the challenges along the way. But if you've made it this far in the video, please feel free to like and subscribe. You're going to have a lot of fun doing these Kerbal videos, and it seems like people are kind of digging the space kind of content right now, so that's always a plus. And until next time, this has been Tallidus Plays.